To the outside world, our lives look perfect, even if in reality, they aren't. What do we want in life? What's our goal? To be productive citizens that are a part of a thriving community? To love? To make memories? May is Mental Health Awareness Month, but let's keep the conversation going.
I struggle with talking to not just the next generation and my children about issues that matter, such as mental health issues or behavioral health issues, is that technology has kind of disrupted social interaction. And so social media, talking in 60 characters or less has taken out empathy. Emojis don't work. And so I struggle with how I talk to the younger generations about how they interact and deal with workforce, team building. Because when you work in a corporate America and there's team building, behaviors clash. And so you don't know who's going through something. How do you recognize? Does a flag go off in your head when you're just used to texting and emailing and you have no social interaction? And we're not built that way. And so to be wired for connection, but to only work on the wires of technology, there's a disconnect with behavioral health. And so sometimes we can't recognize it while we're getting his tweets. And so now we're reading between the lines. Is he really? Right. Does he really mean that? Sure. And at some point for those of us who work in the profession, we go, that boy needs help. That boy needs some help. Somebody needs to go knock on his front door.
Right. Well, and have that personal interaction. I mean, I think you're spot on. I think one of the things that, in so many ways, technology has been great. I mean, part of the way that we got to actually connect through the pandemic with people is technology. And so that's been great.
For the record, I'm zoomed out.
I hear you. I hear you. It's been so nice to share space with people, in person. One of the other things that I worry about with the advent and prolific use of social media is the anonymity of it.
Yes.
And so I think one of the things that happens is that people will say something to a screen that they might not say to the person.
Yes.
Face to face. And I feel like it's because of that, they're reacting, oh, this person said something, I'm going to say something back, and it escalates. But if they were in front of them, they'd probably take a beat, and think about what they're actually saying to the person. So I feel like that has led to challenges in terms of interpersonal relationships.
Because you don't know what empathy is.
That's right.
You've got your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
But you haven't described to somebody why their feelings is hurt. You can't get that in a response in 40 characters, like I said. Yeah. And so when you have interaction, when your kids in school have daily interaction, when they're put in teams, when they play team sports, you learn how to work with people, even
people through difficult things
that you don't like in difficult times.
That's right.
And you manage to learn about feelings, caring, you're compassionate towards, you uplift each other instead of denigrating one another. Right. And social media, other than somebody putting something in all caps, you are they yelling at me? Are they talking?
Right. What does that mean? It is true. And the other thing that I think is really important, we did, we had a kind of a movement in Washtenaw County for our young people, and it was called Wish You Knew.
Oh.
And it was so powerful because, we had mental health folks go out and talk with these high school students about what do you wish older people knew?
Right.
Right. And so part of it is, I feel like, is asking the question. And when I get to work with parents, who have kids, one of the things that I say is it's not your kids or your teenagers' responsibility to come to you all the time. You're the parent. There are going to be hard things you need to ask.
Yeah.
And then be open to hearing that, right? Because I think sometimes people get scared about what they're going to hear.
Well, yeah. So you're afraid that you're not a good parent,
Oh, that's exactly
or
right.
something about
That's
you
right.
and your kid has this
That's
issue.
right.
Now
Yep.
they're on some type of, something got happened in school, and now
Sure.
they've been saw by the counselor or
Mhm.
the social worker,
Sure.
and now they went to the doctor and they're on some medication. But you don't want your child on medication,
Or
but
want
actually-
people to know.
but you're stabilizing that individual. But then we were just talking about like the social media or connection through texting and not talking is you lose context because
Oh, sure.
communication has everything to do with tone and inflection.
Sure.
And so
Nonverbals.
you can't
Yeah.
see that
Yep. Yeah.
or hear that through
Yeah.
these characters on the
Sure.
screen and an emoji,
Yeah.
and everybody interprets those things differently. So I might have said something I thought it was funny.
Right.
Now you're angry. Now you're
That's exactly
you're standing
right.
outside my house with a shotgun.
Oh my gosh! You took a left turn.
All right.
You got behavior.
On that note,
I'm so glad we got to have this really important conversation today. Obviously, for both Senator Bullock and I, we're really passionate about mental health and being able to connect folks with not only with services, but really lift up the role that we as legislators can play. One of the main things that we want to leave you with is talk to someone. Like being able and relating to other folks, like being able to talk to someone is so important. That's how we stay connected. That's how we get support from one another. There are so many amazing agencies and organizations in our communities that offer that support. But one of the best tools that we have is one another. And so, ask someone how they're doing today. Reach out to a friend. Don't be afraid for yourself to talk to someone. And especially during this month, during Mental Health Awareness Month, we want you to remember that message.